A dog sits across the room and looks at you, not the laser-focused stare before dinner, not the head tilt of confusion or expectant gaze before a walk. Just looking. Relaxed body. No tail wag. No request. You glance up. The dog is still looking. You scroll your phone. Look again. They're still there, still watching, still asking for nothing. This makes you uncomfortable in a way you can't quite name. Today we're going to sit with what dogs understand about attention that humans have pathologized. Not because dogs are enlightened, but because they carry a capacity for pure witnessing that our transactional minds have lost. This isn't about romanticizing animals. This is about recognizing that the same ability to be present without agenda exists within you, buried under conditioning that taught you attention always has a price. When a dog holds your gaze without wanting anything, your mind scrambles for meaning. Are they hungry? Do they need out? Did I forget something? The dog continues looking. Calm, present, witnessing. You know this discomfort. You've felt it when someone looks too long without speaking. When a friend listens without jumping in with advice. When someone pays attention without an obvious motive. We've learned that attention has conditions, that it comes with expectations, that if someone is looking, they want something. Here's what animal behaviorists know. A relaxed dog holding eye contact with no request behavior is engaged in affiliative gazing, the technical term for what most of us forgot, simply being with someone without agenda. The dog isn't staring from anxiety or demand. They're looking at you because you exist in their awareness, and that alone is enough. You used to know this. Before you learned attention equals transaction. Before you learned looking means wanting. Before you learned love is something you earn through performance rather than something that exists simply because you exist. Somewhere along the way, we built an entire economy around attention. We learned that if someone pays attention to us, we owe them something. Entertainment, productivity, a reason we deserve it. This shows up everywhere. You can't just sit with someone. You have to be interesting. You can't just be in their presence. You have to justify your existence with contribution or performance. The dog watching you has no such economy. They're not calculating whether you're interesting enough. They're not keeping score. They're not wondering if their attention is appreciated in the correct ratio. They're simply doing what social mammals do, maintaining connection through presence, through witnessing, through the radical simplicity of, you are here, therefore I acknowledge you. When someone holds space without needing you to be anything other than what you are, you feel it. The relaxation, the softness, the sense that you can stop performing. The dog offers this constantly. We just keep misreading it as want. You look up again. The dog is still there, still watching, and your mind is still scrambling. What do they want? This question reveals everything about how we've learned to interpret attention. We can't conceive of someone looking without wanting us to do something, be something, provide something. Watch yourself in conversation. Someone looks at you while you speak, and underneath runs this anxiety. Am I interesting enough? Should I wrap this up? Are they waiting for their turn? You've learned attention is a limited resource to be rationed, that if someone gives you theirs, you better make it worth their while. The dog has no such calculation. Their attention isn't a commodity they're spending. It's just what they do in relationship. They notice you. They witness you. They hold you in awareness, not because you earned it, not because you're being entertaining, but because you exist in their world and they've chosen to remain conscious of that fact. This is the practice humans have forgotten, witnessing without agenda, paying attention without needing the object of attention to be anything other than what it already is. Somewhere in your formation, you learned your value is tied to your utility, that you justify existence through what you produce, contribute, provide. This belief runs so deep you don't notice it anymore. It shows up in how you respond when someone simply pays attention. You deflect, you joke, you turn the attention back. You cannot simply receive being witnessed because receiving without giving back feels like theft. The dog demonstrates a different way. When you sit and really look at them, they don't scramble to entertain. They don't perform tricks unrequested. They don't feel compelled to justify your attention with utility. They simply receive it. They let themselves be seen. They rest in being witnessed without needing to do anything about it. This is not laziness or taking advantage. This is understanding that presence itself is valuable. That witnessing and being witnessed is fundamental connection requiring nothing beyond itself to be meaningful. You need this teaching. You need to relearn that you don't have to earn the right to be seen. That attention offered freely isn't debt. That someone holding you in their awareness doesn't obligate you to become something other than what you are. We've built elaborate theories about what love is, acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, all the ways we demonstrate and earn and maintain love through action. But watch the dog watching you and discover something older, something that predates all our theories and frameworks. Love, at its most fundamental, is the choice to remain conscious of another's existence, to hold them in awareness, to witness them, not to fix or improve or even interact, just to see them, to acknowledge they are here, to let your attention rest on them without agenda. This is what mystics and contemplatives have been trying to tell us for thousands of years. This is what gets lost when we try to commodify spirituality or package presence into productivity tools. The dog demonstrates what we've theorized ourselves out of understanding. Bearing witness is itself an act of love. The simple choice to pay attention, to remain present, to see without needing to change what you're seeing. This is how connection actually happens. Not through performance, not through usefulness, through the radical act of witnessing and allowing yourself to be witnessed in return. You know this in your bones, even if your mind forgot. You know the difference between someone looking at you while mentally composing their response and someone truly seeing you. You know the difference between attention that demands and attention that simply acknowledges. Sit with someone and simply look at them, not staring, not analyzing, not waiting for your turn to speak, just witnessing. Let your attention rest on them the way the dog's attention rests on you, without agenda, without expectation. Notice what happens in your body, the urge to fill silence, the discomfort of presence without purpose, the mental scramble to make this interaction productive. The dog doesn't have this scramble. They've maintained access to what we trained ourselves out of, the ability to be with what is without needing to make it something else. Your mind will offer 1,000 reasons why simply witnessing is insufficient. You should be talking, doing, producing some outcome. But the dog teaches. Sometimes the outcome is the attention itself. Sometimes the purpose is the presence. Sometimes the whole point is to see and be seen without transaction. This is what meditation teachers point at when they talk about presence, what therapists mean when they talk about holding space, what the dog does naturally without training or framework. They witness. They allow themselves to be witnessed. They rest in shared existence without needing to make it mean something or produce something. When you let yourself be witnessed without performing, you remember what you actually are underneath all the roles and functions and utilities. Not the job, not the parent, not the friend or partner, just this awareness, this presence, this being that exists whether or not it's currently useful. The dog knows this already. They haven't forgotten their existence has inherent value independent of contribution. They don't have existential crises about being good enough. They simply are. And their being is enough. You've forgotten this. You've learned that your being is never quite enough, that you have to constantly add to it, improve it, make it more valuable or interesting or worthy. So when someone just looks at you, when the dog holds your gaze without requesting anything, part of you panics. Because if they're not asking you to perform, what are they seeing? Just you? Just the raw fact of your existence? And is that enough? The dog's answer is yes. Always yes. Existence itself is enough reason to witness. Being here is enough reason to hold you in awareness. You don't have to earn the right to be seen. This is the teaching you can barely let yourself believe, because you've built so much around the opposite. So much of your life is organized around proving you deserve to be here, to take up space, to receive attention. But the dog knows better. They've never doubted their inherent worth. They've never questioned whether their existence alone justifies being witnessed. The dog doesn't hold eye contact to teach you something. They're not attempting to convey a spiritual lesson. They're simply being what they are, a social mammal maintaining connection through presence. But you can learn from this. You can remember what you knew before you learned everything has to be earned, including attention, including love. You practice through experience, not concept. You sit with someone and witness them. You let your attention rest without needing anything to happen, without waiting for them to be interesting or useful. You simply see them. You hold them in your awareness. You practice attention without agenda. And then, the harder part, you let yourself be witnessed in return. You resist the urge to perform or deflect. You let yourself be seen. You tolerate the discomfort of being held in someone's awareness without earning it. Some days this will feel impossible. The old conditioning will surface. You'll feel the pull to perform, to justify, to prove you deserve the attention. This isn't failure. This is just the depth of the training you're working to undo. You return to the practice the way the dog returns to watching you, again and again, not to achieve transcendence, but because this is what connection actually is when you strip away transaction. Presence, witnessing. The simple act of holding each other in awareness without needing anything beyond the awareness itself. The dog still sits across the room, looking at you. You've checked your phone 3 times. You've gotten up for water. You've wondered multiple times what they want. They want nothing. They're offering something. The offering is this, a reminder that you don't have to perform your way into being loved, that attention doesn't always come with conditions, that sometimes being witnessed without agenda is the purest form of connection available. You are always, always more than what you produce, more than what you contribute, more than how useful you can be to others. You are this being, here, now, worthy of attention simply because you exist. The dog knows this about themselves. They've never forgotten it. They're showing you that you can remember it too. Not through effort, not through achievement. Through the simple practice of witnessing and being witnessed. Through learning, slowly, carefully. That presence itself is enough. That you are enough. That the act of seeing and being seen without transaction is how love actually works when you strip away everything we've added to it. The story that you have to earn attention is old and deep and convincing. It shaped you. It runs beneath almost everything you do. But it doesn't have to be the only story. It doesn't have to be the loudest story. It doesn't have to be the story that determines how you meet the next moment. The dog looks at you because you're here, because your existence registers in their awareness and they've chosen to remain conscious of it. No performance required, no utility necessary. Just you being you and them, witnessing that fact. Where will you choose to live? In the economy of earning, where every gaze must be justified and every moment of attention must produce something valuable? Or in the simplicity of witnessing, where presence itself is the gift, and being seen without condition is how love has always actually worked? The dog is still looking. Still waiting for nothing. Still offering everything. Can you let yourself receive it?